The Browns expected to start Shedeur Sanders at quarterback in their preseason opener against the Panthers, according to Cleveland.com. It's more out of necessity than anything. That's because most of their quarterbacks are hurt right now. Even Sanders has missed some time with a sore shoulder. He's been taking fourth-string reps at training camp, but Kenny Pickett and Dillon Gabriel have hamstring injuries, and Cleveland doesn't want to play 40-year-old Joe Flacco, who is likely going to be their starter when the season begins. So Sanders is reportedly going to get the nod to start on Friday night against Carolina. But how do you think this actually impacts the race to be the starter and the backup there in Cleveland, with Joe Flacco likely getting that starting nod at least at the start of the season?
You know, that's a great question, Chris, because we've seen Shedeur Sanders outperform Dillon Gabriel in practice, and all that has done is earned him more third and fourth team reps, right? So he could play well in his ball game, and the Browns could still be the Browns and not do what's right by him or by the team. But I say team last because here's the thing. If he goes out there and plays well, and we've seen him play well in practice, it won't be long before the team starts saying, hey, this is the guy that needs to be out there. We saw this back in 2012 with Russell Wilson. Remember, they had just signed Matt Flynn to a bunch of money. And next thing you know, Russell Wilson, third-round pick, short guy out of Wisconsin, comes in there, balls out, and makes it undeniable in the preseason games to where the team was like, yo, this is the guy. I don't care we paid this guy this money. He needs to start. So this is why this opportunity for Shedeur, albeit under weird situations and how it came about, it's important for him to go out there and make sure he balls out. He has to have the greatest preseason game in preseason football history to kind of change the perception of these Browns coaches that seem hell-bent on not allowing him to play himself up that depth chart despite doing so in training camp.
I perked up. This is the Shedeur effect. I perked up. I didn't anticipate this. And now it's okay. Shedeur's going to play, and he's going to play in a preseason game, and he's going to have an opportunity to do it on a national stage. This is why Shedeur Sanders is a different kind of fifth-round pick. If you told me some other fifth-round pick playing for some other team was starting, I wouldn't even, care. Now I'm seeing Shedeur, and I'll tell you, these guys know it. And Jeff, you might have been there with me. I remember being up in Renton, Washington, watching Russell Wilson in 2012 absolutely light up training camp and then go in a preseason game against the Cowboys and be the best player on the field, being so good that he was undeniable to that coaching staff that they had to start Russ, who was a day 2 pick, over Matt Flynn and over the late Travaris Jackson because he won the job. So Shedeur, I looked to him, go and win the job. You're on national TV. Go and light it up. Throw the ball. Have fun. But I didn't buy the jersey, but I definitely perked up at the fact that he's going to be playing and he's number 1 under center, even in a preseason game.
I agree with you, Shregs. This is important. It does come with context. Kenny Pickett and Dillon Gabriel both dealing with hamstring issues. They're not putting Joe Flacco in there, who is their projected week 1 starter. So they are down to basically saying, like, all right, Shedeur, here's your shot. And this is exactly what you need. I mean, anytime you talk about a 5th-round pick, forget about the name attached to him. He's going to have to look for these situations where maybe a couple guys are down right now and he has his chance to step up. And then if he does well, there's no looking back. That being said, he is getting this first chance. This is a chance to shine, ultimately, because those 2 guys right now who are ahead of him on the depth chart, the first depth chart, they are dealing with hamstring issues. So Shedeur Sanders getting his chance.
Ladies and gentlemen, buckle up, because the Cleveland Browns are spiraling into a quarterback catastrophe that's shaking the NFL. It's the 6th of August, 2025. And the Browns' quarterback room is a house of cards teetering on collapse. With Deshaun Watson sidelined for the entire season due to a devastating Achilles injury, the Browns are left with a chaotic 4-man race for QB1. Joe Flacco, the 40-year-old veteran and 2023 NFL Comeback Player of the Year, is the presumed starter, but here's the kicker. Kenny Pickett and rookie Dillon Gabriel are nursing hamstring injuries, and even Shedeur Sanders, the electrifying 5th-round pick, has been battling arm soreness. Cleveland.com reports Sanders will start the preseason opener against the Carolina Panthers this Friday out of necessity, not merit. Is this a golden opportunity or a setup for failure? Let's dive into the chaos. But why is Shedeur Sanders A fifth-round pick with first-round talent being thrust into the spotlight under such bizarre circumstances. Let's unpack the depth chart drama. The Browns' first unofficial depth chart, released on the 4th of August, 2025, paints a grim picture. Joe Flacco sits atop as QB1, with a 4-1 record in his 2023 stint with Cleveland, throwing for 1,616 yards and 13 touchdowns in just 5 starts. Kenny Pickett, the former first-rounder, is QB2, despite completing only 42 passes last season as a backup for the Eagles. Rookie Dillon Gabriel, drafted 94th overall in the 3rd round, holds QB3, and Shedeur Sanders. He's languishing at QB4, despite throwing 6 touchdowns and 0 interceptions in training camp, outshining Gabriel's abysmal 3-for-1-5 performance in recent practices. Sanders, once projected as a top 5 pick, fell to the 144th overall selection, a draft slide that still stings. Yet, even with limited reps, he's shown poise, accuracy, and a knack for making defenders look foolish. So why is Cleveland burying him? Is this about talent or something deeper? Sanders' numbers scream potential, but the Browns' actions whisper sabotage. Could this preseason start be his chance to rewrite the narrative? Let's explore the opportunity and the obstacles. Friday night, under the bright lights of Carolina, Shedeur Sanders gets his shot. With Pickett and Gabriel hobbled and Flacco preserved for Week 1, Sanders is QB1 for now. Cleveland, Com's Mary Kay Cabot broke the news. Sanders will start against the Panthers, marking his first NFL reps with the first-team offense. This isn't just a game, it's a crucible. Think back to 2012, when a 3rd-round rookie named Russell Wilson seized the Seahawks' starting job from high-priced Matt Flynn with a dazzling preseason performance. Sanders, like Wilson, has the talent to turn heads. On day 4 of camp, he threw 3 touchdowns, including a beauty to rookie Luke Floria. But here's the rub. Sanders has been stuck with 2nd and 3rd stringers, denied the reps needed to sync with stars like Jerry Jeudy or Quinshon Judkins. Fans are buzzing. Some call it a golden opportunity, others a setup. Will Sanders light up the field, or is Cleveland setting him up to fail? Sanders is ready to fight, but is the Browns coaching staff playing fair? Let's peel back the curtain on the controversy brewing in Cleveland. The whispers are growing louder, and they're impossible to ignore. Marca reports a firestorm on social media, accusing the Browns of sabotaging Shedeur Sanders. Why? Despite his elite 91, 0 PFF grade in college and consistent camp performances, Sanders has been relegated to 4th-string reps, while Gabriel, a 3rd-round pick, jet first-team looks. Despite going try-for-kinds in drills, posts from fans and analysts like Daniel Oyafusi and Cami Justice highlight the disparity. Sanders missed 1 practice due to arm soreness, yet it's been spun as a major setback. While Pickett and Gabriel's injuries are downplayed, some cry foul, pointing to racial undertones. Is this about nepotism, as one fan put it, favoring non-melanated players? The Browns' history of mismanaging talent, think Deshaun Watson's $230 million disaster, fuels the distrust. If Sanders balls out Friday, will the Browns finally give him a fair shake? Or is this a scripted fall? The stakes couldn't be higher for Sanders. But the Browns' motives are murky. Can he defy the odds and seize this moment? Let's look at what's at stake. This Friday, Shedeur Sanders steps onto a national stage, and the pressure is seismic. A stellar performance could force the Browns' hand, much like Russell Wilson's 2012 breakout made him undeniable, but the deck is stacked. Sanders has had minimal reps with Cleveland's top weapons, only 31 passes in camp, compared to Gabriel's 38 and Flacco's 34. The Browns' early schedule is a gauntlet. Bengals, Ravens, Packers, Lions, Vikings, Steelers. Throwing a rookie into that fire seems cruel. Yet Sanders thrives under pressure. His college tape shows a warrior who played through pain, nearly breaking his back to lead Colorado. If he delivers a historic preseason performance, the Browns might have to rethink their Flacco first plan. But if he stumbles, the talking heads will pounce, ready to label him a bust. This is Sanders' moment to shine or crash. Sanders is fighting for his future. But what does this mean for the Browns' long-term plans? Let's wrap this up with a call to action. Cleveland, it's time to wake up. Shedeur Sanders isn't just another fifth-round pick. He's a generational talent being held back by a franchise notorious for fumbling its future. The Browns went 3-14 last season, and their quarterback room is a mess. Flacco's 40, Pickett's unproven, Gabriel's struggling, and Sanders, he's the wild card who could change everything. Fans, you've seen the spark, 6 touchdowns in camp. No picks, pure heart. Demand better from this organization. Comment below. Should Sanders start week 1? Share this video, hit that like button, and subscribe to keep the pressure on. Shedeur Sanders is ready to fight. Let's fight for him. The Browns quarterback saga is far from over, but one thing's clear. Shedeur Sanders is ready to rewrite the script. Stay tuned for more NFL drama.